Good morning. Boom, right way. Hello, hello, good morning. I'm getting the hang of this now. Let me just get it mounted. Oops. All right, and let me find it. Let me find me. There I am. Let's get adjusted. I have to turn down the sound on my computer. Okay. Interestingly enough, I just filmed a video and it was lined up perfectly, and I haven't changed anything since. But apparently I have to readjust for being live. This grid actually helps me because it's supposed to prompt me to stay within the boundaries when filming. Oh man, it's chilly in here. That's going to irritate me. Hello, good morning. Give people a moment or two to arrive. Today I'm going to be working with the Stoked stamp and die set. I've already taken the liberty of opening up the dies and separating them prior to going live because that takes forever. But this is a new set to me, however I don't think it's a new set. I am in need of an encouragement card for my 10-year-old daughter, who's had some mental health struggles in the past couple of years and has just had a really trying couple of weeks for her. So I thought a nice card would cheer her up. I love to slip cards into her lunch bag so that she gets the card at lunchtime, and also all of her friends will ooh and ah over her cards as well, and she likes that. She likes the attention that gets her, so if that makes her feel better, then I'm all for it. This is a really fun set. Obviously, my daughter she's never been snowboarding, she's never been skateboarding, but she really wants to skateboard. So I thought that I would make her a skateboarding card and have it say, "You are awesome." And I'm going to be doing some coloring and stuff and stamping the stamps out. But I thought that I would stamp all of the images. That way I have the other ones for future cards as well. So we're going to work on that. I'm going to play a little bit today with something that I haven't played with in a while, and that is the 24 set of watercolor pencils that I got from Boo. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. They have multiple different types of packaging that you can get. This one happens to be with a bird and a squirrel, so I'm going to do some watercolor penciling. I'm going to get into that a little bit further. And I'm going to try to watercolor pencil on Bristol cardstock because I've not tried that before, and I thought, heck, I'd give it a whirl, and if it comes out poopy, then I'll just either switch paper or I'll switch to my Tombos. So I will get started with stamping because it just helps me a little bit with the watercolor stamping. I like to heat emboss, so I'll be doing that. I've got my VersaFine black pigment ink, and I think, oh, I did remember to actually wet my wet my stamp chamois before we get started, and I'm going to use some clear detailed embossing powder. This is from Recollections, which is a Michaels brand. I really like this clear embossing powder, and it's a really good price point. So I'm going to just get started stamping and heat embossing some images. I'm going to do 2 of the skateboarder and then 1 of the other ones. That way I'll have the other ones stamped out, and I can work on those in my own time off camera. I do sell a lot of my cards and other creations in my Etsy shop. So generally, if I'm taking the time to work on something, I'm making some extras for the shop as well. So that's why I'm going to stamp some out. I have some from a leftover from another project. I can feel I've got some embossing powder stuck on my stamp platform here, so I'm just going to vacuum it up really quick. I thought I cleaned this up pretty thoroughly before I put it away, but I guess not. I might have that confused with another time. Okay. I'm using the Tonic Tim Holtz stamp platform, not entirely unlike my Tonic Tim Holtz glass mat. I'm becoming quite the fan, I tell you. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to be using some Bristol Smooth cardstock, if I can find it. Here it is. I have to cut some more, it looks like. I only have, oh, no, I do. I have 2 pieces. I pre-cut, I buy the, my Bristol in the large 12x9 paper pads, and then I just cut them into quarters for my stamping, and then I keep them. I've definitely been doing this for maybe the past 6 months or so, maybe. And then I just keep all the pre-cut sheets in this bag here to keep them nice and dust-free. And I kept a part of the original packaging here just to differentiate it from my others, and I just keep this on my shelf here so they're already all pre-cut and ready to go, dust free and clean. And I also keep my like alcohol ink paper similarly, and watercolor paper, and so on and so forth. It's been really working out for me. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on Bristol Smooth, and like I said, we're going to do 2. Oh, here's my what's it called? My little pad here. I'm going to do 2 of the skateboarders because one of them is going to be for Leah. Brandy new. I love the smell of brand new stamps, especially in the morning. Noticeably though, I'm not having coffee today because I have been up since 3 a.m. I've had a lot of coffee. I switched to diet soda about an hour ago. I'm way over coffeeed today. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this out, rotate it, stamp it again, rotate the paper, stamp it again, and then get the clear embossing powder on it. It looks like I'm going to have to make it. That stamped perfectly the first time. I'm going to have to make a mental note to cut some more Bristol a little bit later. Some clear embossing powder. I still have not made it to a Michael's yet to grab that silicone sleeve that I wanted to attach to the side of my desk to keep my heat tool. Just haven't had a chance to get there. I do plan to head to Michael's and Joann's actually on November 1st. First thing in the morning there to hit all the Halloween clearance next Thursday, so 1 week from today. So I'll have to add it to my shopping list to grab that silicone sleeve. I can't just keep my heat tool dangling out in the open like I would in the other home because our pet rabbit can easily access this area in this current setup, and she eats wires. And in fact, she's already nibbled on the wire of my heat tool once before, and my husband had to repair it. Oh, hi, Keisha. Hey, I wanted to talk to you, Keisha. Good morning. So, I got the, I just finished filming a live video, just catching everybody up and doing my hauls. And I wrote to Concord and Ninth about that stamp lot, and they sent me the replacement. So I wanted to know if you wanted the old one. I know that it's got a little bit of a flaw in it, but if you can color it over. Do you want my old cassette stamp here? If you do, then let me know, and then we'll hook up, and I can just pop it in the mail for you. I was just gonna, not even really thinking about it. I almost put it into the trash this morning after I replaced the stamp in the package, and I was like, oh my god, somebody might still want to get some use out of it, even though it's flawed. So I thought I would offer it to you because you were my girl last week. Yeah, you can give it. You'll give it a shot. I have my. Let me give you my. Do you use Instagram? You can DM me over there and just give me your address, and I'll pop it in the mail. Let me. You don't. Do you have Facebook? Can you access Facebook? Because I can give you my Facebook page as well if I can find it. Oh, come on. I am trying to find my Facebook page. Here, I'll link my my Facebook page. Just send me a private message there with your mailing address, and I'll pop it in the mail. Anyway. So if you're just joining me, and I can see that now we have people watching, today I'm working with the Stoked stamp set from Avery Elle, and I'm making a encouragement card for my daughter. She's been going through a rough time lately, and I'm also stamping out a couple of extras that I will, while I am doing this, I might as well stamp out a couple of extras while I have this out, but I will tend to it on my free time, just a couple of different card ideas for my Etsy shop. So, and the first stamp stamped beautifully without having to re-ink. So let's see. I love Avery Elle. Look at that, perfect. And then we'll get the clear embossing powder on these. Oop, that was dumb, but I didn't hurt anything. Okay. Let me get the cover on this because I may or may not have inadvertently tipped it over a million times before. Get these cleaned. Get my heat gun fired up to get ready to do some heat gunning things. Okay. Oh, this is the one we're setting aside. So if anyone is interested, now that I think of it, let me put this stamp and die set into the chat description. If anybody wants to take a peek at my affiliate links, much appreciated. This is the stamp set. Oops. Come on. There we go. Oh, it is not letting me put it in. Hang on. How frustrating. Okay. I don't know why it hates me. Let's try to... Does that work? No. All right, it's being done. I'll do it later. Okay. So I wanted to use the little skateboarder for my daughter. She's never actually skateboarded before. But that is not stopping her from wanting a skateboard. And in fact, she just asked me 2 days ago if she could ask Santa for a skateboard. And I said, you're welcome to ask Santa for whatever, but you're wasting a wish on something you won't be able to use for 9 months out of the year. This is New Hampshire. There is no skateboarding. Okay, so I'm also going to be using these watercolor pencils from Ebu that I got quite a while back from Holler. And when this video gets archived and put up on my channel, I'll have all the description links and everything for the supplies down below. And oh, I need a I already have some water just off camera here. I've never tried watercolor pencils on Bristol before, so this should be interesting. And I just want to grab a watercolor brush here. Hopefully this one, let's grab one slightly bigger as well, just in case. I do have a watercolor brush. I don't like it. I don't like the plastic bristles always separate and break, and I don't like that. It's probably just user error, but I don't like it. Anyway, so let's color one of these guys up here. My daughter's favorite color currently is blue. So let's start with the darker and do gray for metal, the metal pieces here. And then let's color blue on the skateboard. I'm going to do just circles, and I'm going to bring in a lighter blue around this. The very newbie way. I don't use these much really because I don't know how to use them, so I figured the only way to use them will be to play. Get more darker blue. Oh, okay, Keisha, thank you. I will check it when I am done with this stream. Okay, and let's see, where's his little legs? He's got a little butt. Let's do let's make it a short-haired girl because my daughter's a girl. Actually, my daughter doesn't even really care, you know, about your traditional male or female colors, but she does like pink. So let's do a nice pink shirt. I'm going to do a light pink shirt with a darker pink lapel. This is a very quick, easy type of project. Very easy medium for coloring. It's very forgiving. You don't even need to really try because the water is just going to smooth it all out. Let's do green pants. His little butt. Super easy and quick coloring job today because we're going to put most of our effort into the card. And let's see. We have a little tongue sticking out. My daughter is kind of like a dirty blonde. I don't know how this gold color. I'm sorry if you can hear that door slamming. My neighbors are either exiting or coming. They're quite fond of slamming their door. Let's put a little bit of brown in there because she's kind of a little bit darker. daughter's a complicated person. Oh, I forgot to put the pink on the shirt cuff here. Let's see how this works on. It's coloring differently. It feels different on. I've done watercolor pencils on watercolor paper, but not Bristol cardstock, so it feels a little different. Okay, so that's all of the coloring. Let's get the brush out and see if it does so you can't hear my neighbors. I almost called the cops on them. Like 2 weeks ago, they were fighting about something, and it sounded like there was a physical altercation going on upstairs. They're not quiet. So anyway, I'm just bringing water, right? Not much, because it's not watercolor paper, so it's not absorbent. And it is just blending out everything that I had laid down for pencil. Tiny little bit of water. It's just kind of smoothing it out. These are not very high quality pencils either. And it's doing a really nice job on, I think that's it for the brown. And the peach colored. That went a little bit lighter. I know that I'm pale as a ghost, but my daughter actually has really nice olive skin tone, courtesy of... Oh, I missed some fingers here with the peach. Courtesy of my husband's Native Americanness. Okay. Let's do the dark pink. There's way too much water. Take some of it off. It's still a lot of water. This is so therapeutic. I love to see the colors just blend out. It doesn't even look like it was colored pencil anymore. It just blends out. Super easy. I would have to say that this is probably, even as long as I'm taking it easy with the water and not overdoing it with the water, this is probably even blending easier than it does on watercolor paper. This takes almost no effort. On watercolor paper, you have to work it and work it and work it and work it and work it until the wax of the pencil kind of melts out, or washes out. But this is almost no effort at all. It's just no, it does not work with regular colored pencils. I believe that the Prismacolor watercolor pencils can do this. The really super high-end ones. Otherwise, like, I've tried this with, let me grab my, if you give me a moment, I will grab my regular colored pencils. Actually, let me finish this. I'll grab my regular colored pencils and I'll do a quick side to side for you. Let me finish this so that it dries while we're playing, because I'm going to want to die cut this. Because I have tried this technique with regular colored pencils, at least the ones that I use, and it doesn't work. But I am not the type of person that would invest in the really, really high-end supplies. Okay, so there we are with very basic watercolor pencil on Bristol Smooth. I'll be right back. My colored pencils are a couple feet this way in a drawer. So these are my regular colored pencils, and my daughter recently borrowed them, and it is a mess. She's already been in trouble for borrowing my pencils and not putting them back nicely. But so let's grab a nice couple of watercolor, regular, these are just regular Crayola watercolor pencils. And let me take the side of this here. Okay, so we have the blue and another blue, and these are the watercolor pencils on the left. And then we'll do, coming from the other side, Crayola. So you can see the Crayola, like the pigment in the Crayola, they're amazing, but they just don't wash out as well. So here is the watercolor pencils. This is slightly harder on, oh shoot, I just got some water where I didn't want it. This is slightly harder on watercolor paper, like I said. I think it's just because of all of the texture in the watercolor paper. You just have to work. So that's a little bit easier than what I'm used to. And this is water on the Crayola. So yeah. You definitely want a water, especially if you're using budget-friendly supplies. You really want to use a watercolor pencil. I don't know if I can link yet. I'll try.